Welcome back to Gemini Studios. My name is AJ, and in this video we're going to continue working on this card. And the previous video we created a card that you can click on it and it'll flip so you can see the other side. We just have this little issue where the blue side or the back side flips with a little bit of a delay. The reason for that is because I made the changes in the wrong variant. So this is a good opportunity to remind all of you and myself to always make changes in the first variant instead of the second one. So what's happening here is that as the car is flipping, the transition is happening, and halfway through it, that's when the blue side starts to turn and we see that delay. So in order to fix that, let's go to the first variant. We're going to select the back side and come here on the transforms, rotate. If you don't have this option, you can click the plus and you will see the option to rotate there. And under the y-axis, we're going to click in there and type 180 degrees. Hit enter, and now let's test it. There you go. Now the car is working as intended. Perfect. Now we are going to do a little bit more, but I want to touch on some points. So before I start dressing up the cars and make them look nice, I want to go over a couple of points that you might want to keep in mind when you are designing this card. So we're going to give this some depth, make it look kind of 3D, or the illusion that is in 3D. And I also want to talk about transparency and the reason why we set this front and rear sides to hidden. So there's an option on the transform called back face, and we set that to hidden. This is very important. So I'm going to show you how it looks with both options, either visible or hidden. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, now with that the issue out of the way and the car working as intended, we're going to select the first car faces, or the car faces in the first variant. We're going to come down here to transform, and we're going to rotate on the y-axis something like 72 degrees. Yeah, that works. And select the front face. Now we are going to come again to transforms, hit that plus, and we're going to select the option that says depth. Now on this option right here, depth, let's give this 100 pixels, hit enter, and as you can see, that front face got pushed forward 100 pixels. Let's do that for the back. Plus, depth, and this time we're going to give it a minus 100 pixels. Now the card is there, you cannot see it because remember we have the front and the back set to hidden. But if I were to select visible, you can see the back side of this card. So if I were to come here, card faces, and return the Y rotation to 0 and hit play, you can hit play up here as well. Now you can see that when the card flips, you can see the in between is 100 pixels separation for the front and the back, but you can also see the back face of each one of these cards. Now that's fine, and it works if these front and back sides are not transparent. If you want to work with transparency, then that could be an issue. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to select the front card and just click on the fill. And instead of having a fill color, I'm going to click on images, plugins, on splash, and just look for something, whatever, you know, just something as an example. I will select this image right here. And then for the back, I will do the same. Go to images, plugins, on splash, and I don't know, let's put city or something. This one works. Actually, this one. So we have this city and we have this temple, Asian temple. And so if we were to test this as is, let's hit play. There you go, click here, and now we have this image, but notice how you can see the back side of each card. You see when it's turning, you can see the back side of this one and the back side of that one. That doesn't look too good. And if I were to select both cards and make the opacity, let's say 0.5, let's say you're working with transparency, we can see through it, right? And then also, if I were to select the card faces, which is this green one, the container for everything, and let's bring this down again to 50% as well. Now I can see this card and the card behind it as well. So now if I were to test this, you can see that now you're able to see through everything. Now this is not what we want. This is not ideal unless you want to work on a project that specifically shows things through, like, you know, visible, like has that visibility that you can see through it, that transparency. But if not, that's not a good idea. Something that I can do here, let me go back inside, will be select this card face and let's bring this down to 0. And even without that out of the way, it does not look too good, because you want to use this card to focus the attention of the user on something specific. So this has a lot going on, and it's kind of hard to see what's really happening. Again, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. You can use this for something specific. Just keep in mind that if you have the back side of each card set to visible, that will happen. Now let's use the same example. I'm going to select the front and the back, and I'm going to remove this option and set hidden for both front and back, the back faces of the front and the back face. Now let's give this another test and let's see what happens. Now you see, even though they still have that opacity of 50% or see-through, I cannot see the back of the other card because the back of each card is set not to visible. So keep that in mind. Now let's give this back the opacity of 1 to the front and the back card. I am going to go ahead, select the card faces and bring this color back to 100 just for reference. And also the front card, I'm going to select the fill color, bring it back to red, and the back side fill color, bring it back to blue. Now you have an idea of what's going on. Now you understand that the importance of having the front and the back card with a visibility, the back face set to hidden, and you also know what it is like to work with transparency. Also, you can see that by giving some depth, you can see the front and the back popping off the middle, which is really cool if you want to give that effect as well. And this can be used for anything, guys. You can use this card for something like, let's say, before and after, or you can do something like, here's a gift for you, click to reveal, and it turns, and or you can use this for a discount, surprise, or something, and then there you go. Anything really, you can use this for whatever you want. Now this as is already a really good component. You can save it or you can continue. So in my case, I'm going to continue, and what we're going to do next is we're going to be adding some content to each card. Now what I'm going to do now, I have never done before, so I'm just going to bring up some assets, add it to the cards. You can do whatever you want to it, but I want to show you shortcuts that you can use with things that have been built into Framer already. So you can build your own if you know how to, or you can come here to insert. I'm going to use under sections this section right here, because this looks like cards. It looks like little cards that I can put inside of this one, and this is already pre-made. So I'm gonna exit out of this and bring this down here. And again, guys, you can do whatever works for you. You know, I'm a very creative person, so in my case, I'm most of the time creating my own things, but I do admit that sometimes it's easier and faster to use the things that are pre-made and then build upon that. So I'm going to use one of these cards and I'm going to add it to this card. So let's see, I've never done this, so this is the first time for me, and let's play around. Let's see what we can make here. So I'm going to select first, I'm going to come down here and see how this is set up. So I have a stack here, and he has, okay, so it has these 3 stacks, each one is a card. So this will be the second, and that will be the third card. I'm going to select the first one. I'm going to copy it, Command or Control C in your keyboard, and then come up here and make sure you select the front card in the first variant. And then with that selected, Command or Control V to paste it, And the reason why it got pasted there like that is because we are inside of a frame, and because this is a frame, the front card is a frame, you can see that we only have the option for absolute positioning, and that means that you can click and drag and place it anywhere. So I'm gonna place it right there in the middle, and now I want to see if I can expand everything to fill the card as much as possible so that it looks better. So for that, with the card selected, let me see, I have the option. First, I want to see if I can pin it to all sides. So I'm gonna pin it to all sides of the frame, and I cannot pin it to all sides. Okay, that's because it's probably a fixed or a locked aspect ratio inside the card. And let's see, I'm gonna pin this to the top. If I click on the image inside of it, there you go. There's a fixed aspect ratio here, but this is probably not everything that's causing this issue, because even if I were to not select that, let's say that I unlock that and I select the card and I try to pin everything, it's still not doing it. Okay, let's continue investigating. So this had a lock aspect ratio, and actually let me see, the actual card has okay, there you go, the height is set to fit, so I can pin all these three sides, no problem, but because the height is trying to fit the content, it's not able to be stretched out and be pinned to one of the sides. So I'm gonna set this height to fixed, and I'm going to come back up here, select the card, and there you go. Now I'm able to pin it to all four sides. Now notice that there's distance here, and that's why I stayed in the middle. So if I were to select, let's say, only 10 pixels at the top, it gets pushed up, stretched with 10 pixels difference. Let's do the same thing for left and the right, 10 pixels, and that's that. And I'll do that for the bottom as well. Now this image here, which is a frame, is set to fill on the width, and because this frame is inside of a stack, now I have more options. So the height, I'm gonna set it to fill, and now as you can see, it's filling the entire space in here inside of that card. So what I'm gonna do here is select an image, so click here, and I'll go to Unsplash, and I don't know, let's select something like let's say day. I'm just gonna do something simple, or beautiful day, and I'm trying to see something that has the sun in it. Well, I'll use it just for reference. Okay, I'm just gonna use this image. Anything is fine. So I have this image, daytime. I'm gonna call this daytime, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the entire card that we inserted in the front face, copy, and now in the back face, in the first variant, I'm going to paste that card again. Now I don't make changes here. Remember, this is the second variant. So in order to work on that back face, what you can do is select this card face in the first variant, and we're going to rotate it 180 degrees. Now we are in the back face. So all we did, guys, was, let me see. Yeah, we flipped the card so we can work in the back side of it. So 180. Now you also can see now that even if you click here, you won't be able to work in the back face because the front face is getting in the way. That's because it's higher up on this tree. So in order to make changes back here, you gotta go to the front face, right click, and you can hide it. Now you can click and drag images in the back side. Okay, so since this is the back side, I'm going to select that image and do the same thing. Go to image, I'm gonna go to plugins, Unsplash, and select the daytime, or no, not daytime, night, and I'll do something like this just for an example. perhaps I'm gonna go to that image, and I'm going to select the positioning to top center so I can see the moon. Alright, so I have something that represents day, something that represents 9. I can put here nighttime. There you go, and then you can fill this up and and do whatever you want here, read more. Now I want to see how this looks, so I'm going to bring the front face back from hidden. So remember, you can right click and do hidden, or I use the shortcut command semicolon or control semicolon, and that will work as well. And also select the car faces and bring this back to 0. Now I can hit play, and you will see that when I click on it, now I have these 2 samples, and you saw how quickly I was able to build something very simple by creating this 3D card structure and then adding some pre-made template from Framer in it. And with that, guys, you already have something very cool without having to code anything at all. So thank you much for watching. In this part of the video, you were able to add some depth to the card, and you added some custom template to it. In the next section, we're gonna get a little bit more creative. We're gonna add more stuff to the card, and remember remember to always do all your changes in the first variant. If not, you're gonna have some trouble. Thank you again for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.